Welcome back to the gwEm. My name's gwEm. So this video is going to break down the dub jam that I uploaded last week. Now, dub is really the sound of London in the summer. On every street corner it seems that there's some guys with like a boombox or something playing some dub, or your neighbour just cranks it just for the sheer hell of it at 4 AM. So even if you don't like dub, you soon end up liking it, and so it happened with me. I love dub now. I think it's absolutely fantastic, but I don't know too much about it because I never really seek out dub, it just finds me. But in any case, I wanted to try my hand at making some dub. Now, my favourite type of dub is the kind of old school 1970s instrumental stuff. So I thought that is what I would go for. Let's break down the jam, and I'll come back and talk to you a little bit more at the end. Use the Alesis MMT-8 as a sequencer. I've got a dub Siren here, the Akai S700, which I'm super into at the moment. Really like this sampler right now. This is another thing that I'm really into at the moment, the Boss BX800 mixer. Kind of makes everything sound a bit old. It is a good mixer, it sounds good. What I really like about it is that you can dial in a very precise amount of overdrive with the gain knobs. The Alesis MMT-8 doesn't have swing, so I also used this Roland SBX1 in order to provide a swung MIDI clock to the Alesis. And just down here out of shot, I've got a Digitech Polara reverb pedal, which is set on a spring setting. And I've also got a vintage Bucket Brigade delay unit. It's a Korg SD-200. So let's have a listen to the different sounds. The first track just got a kick drum. Track 2 is hi-hat and snare. The snare is actually layered. I took 2 snare samples, and then using the overdub record function on the S700, I layered the 2. And that's just a breakbeat which I sampled from the Norman Cook sample CD. So all together the beat sounds like this. Which is kind of like a hip-hop boom bap type beat, but the magic happens when you kick in the spring reverb. That really makes it sound like dub, that spring boinging in the background. Still sounds a bit hip-hop. I think I would need to listen to a lot more dub records and analyse them more closely to get a really authentic sounding beat, but I'm quite happy with that. Track 4, we have the Skank. And that is another overdubbed sample, so it's a standard acoustic piano, and I overdubbed it with an electric piano as well, and just a little bit of distortion on the electric piano. And using the filter in the S700, I just took off the top end just to make it sound a bit older. And clearly that's swimming in spring reverb as well. For that dub flavour. Track 5, we've got the bass. That bass is recorded from my Behringer MS-101. It's just a square wave bass with the filter, obviously. Now, I did put a little bit of spring reverb on it, as you heard. It doesn't sound that good with the spring reverb on its own. I never normally put reverb on the bass. Kind of gives a metallic quality to it, which I don't really like. Much prefer it without. In the context of all the other instruments, I did find that having that reverb just made it sit better in the mix. This is probably the least dub part of the song. On track 6, I've got some strings. These are strings I sampled from the Kawaii K1. I don't think that is authentic dub in the slightest. I'm not claiming as such, but I did like the way it kind of sat with the other instruments. It sounds a bit 1990s, and you know, that's my style, so I thought it sounded nice. I thought it gave a bit of variation within the jam, so I decided to go with that. And on track 8, I've got some other effects.
Jocko! 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 Jock! 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 Jocko!
So that's a classic shock out sample, which I got on a Sample City CD. The dub horn I just sampled from YouTube, and the delay effect on the shock out.
Jocko! Jocko! Jocko!
All I've done is to repeatedly play the note on the MMT-8 and reduce the MIDI velocity. On the S700 I've got the velocity mapped to the filter, so it gives that kind of analog delay type of sound.
Jocko! 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 Jocko!
This is the dub siren. It's a clone of the famous NJD dub siren. There are hundreds of dub sirens on the market, but for me, being a Londoner, you know, this type of sound, that's what I associate with dub. So the signal chain for the dub siren is it comes out the back of the dub siren, goes into the Korg SD-200 analog delay, and then into the mixer, and then I've just on the effects end, I've got the spring reverb on it. I've switched the spring reverb off, so you'll just hear it with the delay. That's already sounding quite dub, to be honest with you. Switch off the delay and it's not quite as good. Much better with it on. And then with the spring reverb as well, that sounds pretty good, I reckon. With everything together, we've got this.
Jocko! 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 Jocko!
Which you heard in the jam.
So what did you all think of the dub jam? It wasn't the authentic 1970s style I was going for. I guess it was never going to be. I was using a sampler and electronic instruments, but I think it definitely sounds dub. It's got a UK flavour to it. Well, I am a Brit after all. Anyway, let me know your comments, positive or negative. Who knows, I may do another dub track again in the future. Thanks a lot for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, subscribe for more stuff like this. I hope to see you in another video soon. Take care.